Have you ever felt like the world has you on a leash, pulled by every rude comment, silent reply, or unexpected setback? You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Buddha. Most of us live as emotional puppets, reacting to things that don't deserve our energy. You smile, they frown, you break. But what if nothing, and no one, could touch you again? What if you had unshakable control, no matter what life throws your way? Think about it. How much of your peace have you handed to strangers, to your past, to moments that don't matter? This video is your wake-up call, because once you understand this, everything changes. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming untouchable. Watch till the end. There's a powerful bonus lesson that ties it all together. If you're going to get anything out of this video, just get that. That's all you need to know in life. Number 1. Avoiding pain keeps you controlled. Have you ever wondered why certain memories still hurt, even when years have passed? Why a single word can send you spiraling, or why silence from someone feels like a scream inside your chest? We all carry wounds. But here's the truth, no one tells you. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again once you stop running from your own pain. Avoiding pain is like fearing the ocean, so you stay thirsty, never knowing you could swim. You think you're protecting yourself by turning away from what hurts. But that very act of avoidance is what keeps the hurt alive. It becomes your shadow. The wound, Rumi once said, is the place where the light enters you. Yet most of us cover that wound, hide it, bury it. We never let the light in. Buddhist philosophy teaches us that suffering doesn't come from pain. It comes from our resistance to it. The moment you avoid your emotions, you hand over your power. You become a prisoner, not of others, but of the very things you refuse to feel. The more you avoid, the more power pain has over you. But when you stop resisting, when you turn toward the discomfort, you begin to see it for what it truly is, a messenger, not a monster. So ask yourself, what if your pain was not your enemy, but your teacher? What if behind the heartbreak, behind the anxiety, behind the fear, there was a lesson calling your name? Most people don't want to feel, they want escape. But healing doesn't come from escape. Healing comes from presence. Here's what you can do. Every day, just 5 minutes, sit with your discomfort. No phone, no distractions. Breathe, feel. Let whatever emotion comes, come. You might cry, you might get angry, you might feel nothing. That's okay. Just don't run. When you're triggered, whisper to yourself, "This is pain passing through, not pain defining me. You are not your fear. You are not your sadness. You are the sky. These emotions are just weather." Try this too. Journal what the pain is saying, not what it feels like, but what it's trying to show you. What needs to change? What have you outgrown? What boundary needs building? Pain, when listened to, becomes your compass. In the words of the Buddha, our sorrows and wounds are healed only when we touch them with compassion. And that compassion begins with you, not blaming, not shaming, but simply allowing. So, here's the question that could shift your entire life. How long will you let what you avoid keep owning you? Because the moment you stop running is the moment you start rising. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again. Not because the world changes, but because you do. You stop outsourcing your peace. You stop waiting to be rescued. You start walking into the fire and realizing it never had the power to burn you, only to wake you. You are stronger than what hurt you. You are deeper than what broke you. And your healing, it begins the moment you decide to feel. 2. We are what we choose to become. Every moment you're building something, a life, a mindset, a future. And the truth is, you're either building a temple or a prison. What you feel may be automatic, but what you do with it, that's your power. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. These words from the Buddha are not just poetry, they are a mirror. Every reaction, every response, every emotion you feed is a choice, one that shapes who you are becoming. Most people don't realize this. They believe they are at the mercy of their circumstances, their triggers, their past. But here's the wake-up call. You are not a victim of life. You are the architect of your inner world. And every thought, every word, every decision is a brick. Brick by brick. Are you building a path to peace or a fortress of pain? Ask yourself right now, are you reacting out of habit or responding with awareness? One leads to unconscious suffering, the other leads to liberation. Maybe someone says something that hurts. Maybe life throws you off course. Your old self might snap, defend, blame. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused? What if you asked yourself, is this choice leading me toward peace or away from it? That question alone can change everything. We often say, I can't help it. But what we really mean is, I haven't trained my mind to choose better yet. The moment you stop letting emotions drive your decisions, you step into freedom. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming aware, powerful, still. You begin to respond instead of react. And that shift? That's where suffering ends and mastery begins. Start with small steps. Set 3 daily reminders, silent intentions that echo your values. Calm, kindness, discipline. When chaos hits, these are your anchors. When your past shows up, when fear whispers, when you're tempted to lash out, breathe and remember who you're choosing to be. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. Freedom doesn't mean nothing touches you. It means nothing breaks you without your permission. The Buddha taught, you yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way, and the way forward begins with conscious choice. This is not just philosophy, it's practice. So here's the deeper question. Who are you becoming by what you choose today? Every decision is a declaration, not just of what you believe, but of who you are. Stop letting old versions of yourself run the show. That reaction, that resentment, that rage, it's not you anymore, unless you choose it again. Your story is not written by your past, but by the choice you make right now. And if you keep choosing peace, even when it's hard, nothing and nobody will ever hurt you the same way again. You are not your thoughts. You are the space that chooses them. You are not your pain. You are the power that transforms it. And you are not a prisoner of your past. You are the builder of your future. 3. The unconscious drives your reactions. Have you ever wondered why a small comment can make you feel like your world is collapsing? Why rejection, even from a stranger, hits so deep it feels personal? It's not just about the moment, it's about the shadow behind it. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Most of what hurts us isn't really happening now. It's a memory wearing today's mask. Your mind is like a house. But if you're not aware of who's in control, the uninvited guests, your old fears, your childhood wounds, your unspoken grief, start running the place. You begin reacting, not to life as it is, but to a story you've never questioned. The pain that controls you the most is the one you don't even know is there. That's where awareness becomes your greatest power. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness isn't just a practice, it's the light that reveals the shadows. And in those shadows are patterns, wounds, forgotten moments. When you pause and trace your reactions back, you often find they were never about this situation. but about something older, something unresolved. So here's a question worth everything. What stories from your past are still making your decisions today? That panic in your chest, is it really about the present or a voice you internalized long ago? That need to be perfect, liked, needed. Who taught you that your worth wasn't enough as is? Healing doesn't come by avoiding triggers, it comes by facing them. Use your emotional reactions as sacred alarms. When something rattles you, instead of acting out, pause and ask, where have I felt this before? You'll start seeing the same patterns over and over, just dressed in different situations. Those are the keys to your healing. Set aside time each week to reflect. What emotional patterns am I reliving? Is it abandonment? Not feeling seen? Not feeling safe? Awareness breaks the cycle. It doesn't make pain disappear, but it gives you the choice to stop feeding it. Your body knows too. It stores everything the mind doesn't want to feel. So next time you feel overwhelmed, scan your body. Tension in the shoulders, the gut, the jaw, that's your unconscious speaking. Breathe into those spaces. Let them be heard. Let them soften. The Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. True peace comes when you stop outsourcing your pain and begin understanding it. You become free not by controlling life, but by understanding yourself. So ask yourself, is this reaction about now, or is it about something I've never healed? Because when you begin tracing it back, when you shine awareness on the pain, you take your power back. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again the same way, because you are no longer reacting blindly. You are responding with awareness, and in that awareness, you are finally free. 4. Integration, not avoidance, builds strength. What if strength wasn't about being untouched by chaos, but about holding it all without falling apart? Most people think peace means silence, calm skies, no storms. But life doesn't work that way. Storms come, emotions rise, and trying to outrun them only makes them chase you harder. Real freedom begins the moment you stop resisting what you feel and start holding space for it. You don't escape the storm by running. You become the sky that holds it. We're taught to suppress. Don't cry, don't show fear, don't get angry. But every emotion you push away becomes energy trapped inside you. And what you avoid today will echo tomorrow. Buddhism reminds us, peace comes not by avoiding chaos, but by making space for it within you. That space, that stillness, is cultivated when you allow, not control. When you integrate, not reject. Ask yourself, are you trying to escape your emotions or expand your capacity to feel them? It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything. The fear doesn't vanish. The sadness doesn't dissolve overnight. But you learn to sit with it without being swallowed. You stop seeing emotions as threats and start seeing them as guests, each with something to teach you. Try this. The next time an intense emotion rises, don't run, don't distract yourself. Instead, close your eyes and say, I allow this emotion to exist without judgment. That's integration. You're not pretending it doesn't hurt. You're not trying to fix it. You're simply creating space for it. That space, that's where wisdom grows. Practice equanimity meditation. Sit still, breathe deeply, and welcome every sensation. Don't label it as good or bad, just observe the joy, the grief, the confusion. Let it all be there, like waves passing through a vast ocean. You. The more you allow, the less you are controlled. That's not weakness, that's unshakable strength. And when conflict arises, don't see it as something to conquer. See it as feedback. What part of you is trying to be acknowledged? What truth have you buried so deep that it's now rising as anger, anxiety, or silence? Often, the things you resist the most are the missing pieces of your healing. Integration is the practice of wholeness. You no longer divide yourself into the acceptable and the shameful. You become real, fully human, and in that rawness, you become powerful. The Buddha taught that the middle way, the path of balance, is the end of suffering. Not because pain disappears, but because you are no longer split in two. You are whole. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember this. The goal is not to stop the waves. The goal is to learn how to surf them. When you stop pushing parts of yourself away, nothing and nobody will ever hurt you the same again. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are strong for standing in the storm without shutting your heart and your peace. It will come when you stop running and start allowing. 5. Suffering as a messenger. What if your pain wasn't here to break you, but to wake you? Most people try to escape suffering through distractions, denial, or blame. But suffering isn't the villain, it's a messenger. A whisper from your soul saying, something isn't right. And if you keep running from it, you'll never hear the message it carries. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. These words are not just Buddhist wisdom, they're an invitation to look deeper. Pain visits everyone. But suffering, that lingering, repeating ache that only stays when we refuse to listen. Think about it. When something hurts you deeply, do you ever stop to ask, what is this moment of suffering trying to reveal or realign? Or do you just want it gone? We are taught to treat pain like a curse. But what if it's more like a compass, pointing you back to yourself, back to a truth you've avoided, a boundary you've neglected, a need you've buried? Imagine pain as a letter from your soul. Most people throw it away without reading it. But the ones who heal, they open it. They read the message. They learn. And because of that, they grow into someone stronger, someone softer, someone wiser. This is not punishment, it's purification. Ask yourself the next time you're hurting, what unmet need or illusion is this pain highlighting? Maybe your suffering is not from the event itself, but from the story you've attached to it. That you weren't enough, that you were supposed to be stronger, that you'll never recover. These stories fuel the fire. But the moment you step back and listen to the pain, not react to it, you begin to shift. Try this. Instead of numbing, instead of scrolling or escaping, sit still. Take out a journal and write. What would this pain say if it had a voice? Let it speak. Let it cry. Let it tell you what's been ignored. You'll be surprised how healing it is to hear yourself. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment, from clinging to how things should be instead of accepting how they are. So suffering isn't your enemy. It's the teacher that leads you to the root of your attachments, your illusions, your resistance. Once you start seeing suffering as a guide, not a punishment, everything changes. You stop fearing it. You start learning from it. And that learning makes you emotionally untouchable, not cold or numb, but clear. So here's the question worth asking right now. Are you blaming the pain, or are you listening to it? Because pain speaks, but only to the ones willing to hear. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You're not being punished. You're being purified. And once you understand the message behind your suffering, nothing and nobody will ever hurt you the same way again. 6. True emotional immunity is clarity. Have you ever noticed how some people's words cut you deeper than they should? A glance, a comment, a rejection, and suddenly you're spiraling. But what if it's not their words that hurt? but the place inside you that believed them. The Buddha once said, "A mind clear like water cannot be disturbed by pebbles." That's not just poetic, it's power. When you are clear within, nothing outside can shake you. This is what true emotional immunity is. Not indifference, not numbness, but clarity. Clarity is the fire that melts the hooks others try to throw at you. Without clarity, you grab every insult, question every move, and shrink in the face of judgment. With clarity, you begin to realize people don't hurt you. Your attachment to their words does. Your need for approval, your own hidden doubts. And this realization? It's freedom. Because the moment you stop waiting for the world to tell you who you are, nothing it says can wound you. Ask yourself, are you clear about who you are, or are you still waiting for others to decide it for you? Think of the last time someone hurt your feelings. Now ask, was that really about them, or about something I haven't healed yet? Often, what stings us most is the echo of an old belief we still carry. The insult lands because part of us agrees. That's where clarity steps in, not to fight others, but to shine light on what's still unclear within us. When someone says something that triggers pain, pause. Don't react. Ask, is this true or just familiar? Familiar doesn't mean it's real. It means it's unresolved. And this is where healing begins. Begin to practice this sentence. Their actions reflect their mind, not my worth. That one line alone can change your life. Because suddenly you realize they're not seeing you. They're projecting their pain, their fears, their filters. Buddhism teaches detachment not as indifference, but as clarity. You stop taking things personally because you start understanding them impersonally. You become the witness, not the reactor. You become grounded, not guarded. You start visualizing negativity like waves in the ocean, and you, the mountain, unmoved. Try this each day. When someone irritates or criticizes you, imagine their energy like smoke. Watch it rise and dissolve before it ever touches you. Practice asking, what part of me is still unsure? And give that part attention, not shame. You don't become immune by avoiding emotions. You become immune by understanding them. That's emotional clarity. That's unshakable peace. So the next time life throws stones, remember, you're not here to dodge them. You're here to become the water, to remain clear, still, and untouched. Because when you know who you are, no one else can tell you otherwise. You don't need thicker skin, you need a clearer mind. And once you have that, nothing and nobody will ever hurt you the same way again. 7. Loneliness on the path is proof. You're healing. Have you ever wondered why healing feels so lonely? You decide to grow, to detach, to find peace, and suddenly the world feels a little quieter, a little emptier. Friends don't call as often. Conversations feel shallow. You sit in silence and begin to doubt your journey. But here's the truth. Loneliness on the path is proof that you're healing. You are shedding old skins, breaking away from familiar noise. As the Buddha said, it is better to walk alone than with a crowd going in the wrong direction. Solitude is not a punishment, it's a portal. You must leave the crowd to hear your voice. You cannot find your truth surrounded by voices that drown it out. In the beginning, this solitude will sting. It will feel like abandonment. But look closer. Maybe it's not people walking away from you. Maybe it's life clearing space so you can finally walk toward yourself. Ask yourself honestly, are you afraid of being alone or afraid of what your silence might reveal? In a world addicted to noise, stillness feels foreign. But this stillness is where your clarity begins. When the distractions fade, what remains is real. the sadness, the buried questions, the voice you've silenced for years, it all rises in solitude. That's why it's so powerful. The temporary discomfort of being alone births the permanent strength of knowing yourself. Set aside 1 hour a day as sacred. No phone, no music, no talking, just presence. Feel the discomfort rise and don't run. Ask, what part of me is calling for attention right now? Maybe it's a memory, a fear, a dream you buried to fit in. Let it speak, journal it, witness it. The goal isn't to fix anything. The goal is to finally listen. You're not alone in solitude. You're finally meeting yourself. The path of awakening often requires walking through valleys others don't understand. You'll outgrow conversations. You'll see through illusions that once gave you comfort. And yes, some days will feel empty. But that emptiness is not failure. It's space being made for something deeper. You are creating a life rooted in truth, not noise. That comes with a cost, but it also comes with clarity, strength, and unshakable peace. Buddhism teaches that attachment is suffering, and often we're attached to the idea that we must always be surrounded. But in solitude, you realize you are enough, you are whole, you are not lacking, just becoming. Let go of the idea that being alone is wrong. It's sacred. It's where transformation begins. So when you feel the ache of being left out, misunderstood, or unseen, don't run from it. Sit with it. Let it teach you. Because the deeper you go within, the stronger you'll stand without. And when the world sees you standing in your truth, silent, peaceful, undisturbed, that's when you'll know. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you the same way again. Solitude is not your enemy. It is the birthplace of your power, and the only voice you need to hear is your own. 8. Let go of what you cannot control. Have you ever noticed how the more you try to control everything, the more anxious you become? Like trying to hold water in your hands, the tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. We live under the illusion that control equals safety, that if we just try hard enough, plan well enough, or care more, we can shape every outcome. But Buddhism teaches a radical truth. Act, but do not be attached to the fruit of action. When you surrender the need to control everything, that's when peace begins to flow in. We suffer not because of what happens, but because of our resistance to what we cannot change. Maybe you're holding on to someone else's behavior, waiting for their apology, needing their approval. Or maybe you're stuck replaying a past failure, trying to rewrite what cannot be undone. And here's the hardest part to accept. Not everything is yours to fix. Ask yourself honestly, are you acting from trust or from fear of losing control? Is your effort rooted in love or panic? Surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. It means giving your best and then letting life breathe. It means learning to rest in uncertainty without falling apart. That's what true power looks like. It's knowing where your responsibility ends and where life takes over. Say it aloud. I focus only on what's mine to control, my mind, my words, my actions. Everything else, it's not your weight to carry. You don't have to control the world to find peace. You only have to control the way you show up in it. So, when you feel overwhelmed, do this. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. As the breath leaves, imagine releasing everything that's not yours. The expectations, the judgments, the timelines, the need for others to change. Let it go. Then journal this. Effort is mine. Outcome is life's. That one shift will protect your peace more than any amount of control ever could. Imagine being like the sky, vast, open, unaffected by the passing storms. Let the world move as it will. You remain still within. You give your heart fully, but you do not beg the wind to blow your way. You do the work and let go of the rest. It's in this surrender that strength is born. So the next time life feels out of your hands, don't panic. Pause, breathe, ask, what is truly mine in this moment? And then act from that sacred place. This is how you free yourself from the endless chase for certainty. This is how you become untouchable, calm in chaos, grounded in surrender, clear in the face of storms. You were never meant to control it all. You were meant to flow through it with grace. And when you finally let go, you'll realize nothing and nobody can hurt you again, because your peace no longer depends on them. 9. No one can truly offend you without your permission. Imagine someone hurling an insult your way. It stings, doesn't it? But here's the powerful question. Who holds the power in that moment? The answer is simple. You do. Offense is like a gift. If you don't accept it, it stays with the giver. The Buddha's wisdom tells us, you will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. In other words, your emotional freedom is not determined by others' actions, but by how you choose to respond. It's easy to think that people's words, their criticism, their judgments have the power to shake us. But the truth is, we hand them the power to offend us. Think about it. Who's really in control when you let someone's opinion disrupt your peace? The moment you take offense, you've given them the keys to your inner state. But what if, instead of handing them that power, you stood firm in your own truth? What if you chose not to let their words define your worth? What are you handing others emotionally that should belong to you? We often think that defending ourselves will protect our dignity. But the truth is, the more we defend, the more we affirm the power we've given away. Imagine responding to criticism with curiosity instead of defense. Next time someone criticizes you, instead of rushing to justify yourself, ask, "Interesting. Why does this touch me?" This simple shift takes the charge out of the situation and returns the power to you. It turns the reaction into a moment of self-discovery instead of a battle. Buddhism teaches us to cultivate a sense of mental non-receiving. Hear without absorbing. People will speak their truth, but it doesn't have to be your truth. Someone's anger, judgment, or opinion is theirs, not yours. When you truly understand this, the words of others lose their power over you. You become like a calm lake, unaffected by the ripples around you. No matter how much the world presses on you, your inner peace remains undisturbed. What's most powerful is building your self-definition daily through your own values, not through reactions to external circumstances. You are not what others say about you. You are what you choose to be. Are you choosing peace over reaction? Are you choosing to stand firm in your own truth, regardless of others' opinions? This isn't about letting people walk all over you. It's about knowing that you don't need their validation to be whole. When you stop letting others dictate how you feel, you reclaim your emotional sovereignty. You stop handing out keys to your peace. You stop being punished by your anger, and instead live in a state of calm, regardless of what's happening outside you. Your inner world is yours to protect. So, take back your power. Stand still in your truth. And remember, nothing and nobody can hurt you again unless you give them permission. You are the master of your emotional state, no one else. 10. The present is a place of peace. Imagine you are standing in a beautiful, quiet temple. The walls are still, the air serene, and the atmosphere is filled with peace. This temple represents the present moment. It is the only place untouched by fear, regret, or worry. The present is all we ever truly have. Yet so often, we get lost in the noise of the past or future. Our minds wander, pulled by memories of what has been or anxieties about what might come. But here's the truth. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. Right now, in this moment, peace already exists, and it's waiting for you to step into it. So often, we live trapped in the past or future. We replay past pains, regrets, and mistakes, or we imagine what could go wrong in the future. But in doing so, we overlook the only real thing we have, the present. Where are you right now? Are you here in the present moment, or are you lost in the prison of your mind, replaying old stories and creating new ones that haven't even happened yet? The present moment is silent, still, and unbreakable. It's the only reality that cannot hurt you. All the pain you feel exists either in memories or in the imagination. Neither of those are real. The present, however, is always here, always available, and always peaceful. Now let's turn that insight into action. Can you allow this moment to be enough? Instead of seeking validation or fulfillment outside of yourself, can you find contentment in the present moment? It's easy to chase after something more, to feel like we need something to complete us. But in the present, there is already everything you need. Take a moment right now to breathe deeply and notice your surroundings. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? Sensory anchoring is a powerful tool to bring you back to the now, especially in moments of anxiety. When you're overwhelmed, name 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and 3 things you feel. This simple exercise pulls you back from the chaos of the mind into the sanctuary of the present moment. Every hour, pause for just 30 seconds. Breathe deeply and remind yourself, this moment is all there is. Let go of the stories, the fears, the regrets. When you do, you'll realize that in the present moment, nothing is missing. Whatever you need, peace, love, purpose, is right here, right now. All the answers you seek are within you, in the present. There is no need to chase them in the past or the future. The present moment is the only place of true peace. When you come back to it, you stop giving power to what others have said, what you've done, or what might happen. You realize that the real power lies in your ability to remain here in the moment and let everything else fall away. So, breathe, pause, and remember, the present is a place of peace. It is the only place that can't hurt you. And in that peace, you become untouchable. 11. Your value is not up for debate. Imagine for a moment that you are the sky, vast, unshakable, and eternal. The clouds may come and go, the storms may roll through, but you, the sky, remain untouched. Others' opinions, criticisms, and judgments are nothing but passing weather patterns, temporary, fleeting, and without any power to alter the essence of who you are. When you embrace the truth that your value is not up for debate, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer seek validation in a world that profits from your self-doubt. Instead, you understand that your worth is inherent, not something to be earned or measured by external approval. In a society that constantly tries to define us by comparison, achievement, or external recognition, it's easy to lose sight of your true value. But what if your worth was never in question? What if, right now, you accepted that you are enough, just as you are, without needing anyone's permission to exist, to speak, or to be seen? This shift changes everything. When you know your worth, criticism becomes irrelevant. Rejection loses its sting. Judgment no longer holds power over you because your self-worth is not in their hands. It's yours. The moment you stop looking for external validation is the moment you begin to stand in your truth, unshaken by the world around you. Ask yourself, Who are you trying to prove yourself to, and why? Is it someone who doesn't see you for who you truly are? Or perhaps it's a version of yourself that you think is incomplete without their approval. What would your life look like if you acted as though your value was unquestionable? How would you walk, speak, and interact with others if you knew that you were already enough? This shift is liberating. It's the difference between constantly seeking external validation and standing firmly in your own truth. To begin integrating this principle into your life, start with a simple yet powerful mirror mantra. I do not need to be approved to be enough. Stand in front of a mirror each day, look into your own eyes, and say these words. Feel the weight of them as they sink into your heart. You are not waiting for permission to be who you are. Your worth is inherent, and no one can take that from you. Next, notice who or what makes you shrink. Who are the people or situations that cause you to doubt yourself or feel unworthy? Once you identify them, begin setting boundaries, whether mentally or physically. You don't need to subject yourself to environments or people who undermine your sense of value. You have the power to protect your energy and your peace by saying no, walking away, or simply choosing not to engage in those spaces that make you feel small. Your worth is not up for negotiation. Finally, cultivate a daily practice of self-respect with a self-worth journal. Each day, write down 3 things you respect about yourself. It could be a quality you admire, an achievement, or even an aspect of your character that shines brightly. This simple exercise shifts your focus from what others think to what you know is true about yourself. Remember, you are the sky. You are vast, and no storm can change that. When you truly accept that your value is not up for debate, you become free from the need to prove yourself to anyone, and you stand firm in the power of your own existence. Bonus lesson. Joy is your natural state beneath the noise. Imagine for a moment that joy is your natural state, like the sun, always shining behind the clouds of thought, waiting patiently for you to remember it. Too often, we find ourselves buried under layers of struggle, believing that happiness is something we need to chase, grasp, or earn. But what if joy isn't something you need to find at all? What if it's already there, quietly resting beneath the noise of your thoughts, waiting for you to peel back the layers and let it shine through? This is the wisdom of Buddhism, and it holds the key to emotional freedom. You've probably been told that happiness depends on what you have, who you know, or where you are in life. But Buddhism teaches a different truth, that happiness relies solely on what you think. The mind, clouded with worries, judgments, and stories from the past, often distracts us from the joy that's always within reach. Beneath the noise, joy is not a distant dream or an elusive goal. It is your birthright. It's the core of who you are, and it has never left you. The challenge isn't in finding joy, it's in allowing it to surface once more by removing what dims your inner light. Now think about this. What if joy wasn't something to find, but something to remember? What if, instead of searching for fleeting pleasures or external sources of happiness, you could simply reconnect with the joy that has always existed within you? Joy is not dependent on circumstances, achievements, or possessions. It's a feeling that can arise at any moment when you stop chasing and start being. The question then becomes, what's stealing your joy right now? And is it truly worth it? Is it the weight of past regrets, the fear of the future, or the constant pressure to do more and be more? These distractions may seem urgent, but they are not the true source of your joy. Letting go of these attachments and returning to the present moment is the key to unlocking your natural state of happiness. One simple practice to start shifting your perspective is gratitude. Each day, take a moment to give thanks for one ordinary thing: sunlight, a breath, a sip of water. These small, everyday blessings often go unnoticed, yet they are the very foundation of your joy. When you begin to notice and appreciate these simple things, you create space for joy to enter your life. It doesn't take grand achievements or special moments. It takes presence and awareness. Another powerful tool to reconnect with joy is laughter. Yes, laughter. It's a reminder that joy is always available to us. Laugh intentionally, whether at something funny or simply at the absurdity of life itself. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Play with the freedom of being a human being, not a human doing. These moments of lightness can shatter the heavy walls of thought and bring you back to the joyful, peaceful state that is always present within. Shift your focus from what's wrong today to what is quietly right. When you turn your attention to what is already well in your life, you will find that joy begins to emerge, not as something to achieve, but as something you've simply been overlooking. You are the sun, and joy is your light. It is never far away. It's just waiting for you to notice it again. Quick summary of the principles. Avoiding pain keeps you controlled. Avoiding pain gives it more power over you. True freedom comes when you face your discomfort instead of running from it. Pain loses its grip the moment you stop fearing it and start understanding it. We are what we choose to become. Your daily choices shape your destiny. Every reaction, word, and thought is a step toward who you are becoming. Awareness allows you to respond with intention rather than react out of habit. The unconscious drives your reactions. Many of your strongest emotional reactions are shaped by past wounds you haven't healed. Until you make those unconscious patterns conscious, they'll keep controlling you. Self-awareness is the path to liberation. Integration, not avoidance, builds strength. Trying to silence or suppress emotions only makes them stronger. True inner power comes when you learn to coexist with fear, sadness, and uncertainty. You grow by holding space for your entire experience. Suffering as a messenger. Suffering isn't a punishment, it's a signal. It reveals where you are out of alignment with your truth. By listening to it rather than resisting it, you'll uncover powerful lessons for growth. True emotional immunity is clarity. No one can emotionally control you if you understand your truth clearly. When your identity is grounded, others' words or actions lose the power to wound you. Inner clarity builds emotional armor. Loneliness on the path is proof you're healing. Choosing inner growth often means walking alone for a while. Solitude is not emptiness, but the beginning of deep self-connection. It is in that silence that you hear your real voice. Let go of what you cannot control. Trying to micromanage people or outcomes leads to stress and suffering. Peace begins when you act with effort, but surrender attachment to the result. Letting go is not weakness, it's wisdom. No one can truly offend you without your permission. Offense only takes hold when you accept it. When you're secure in your worth, others' negativity bounces off. Reclaiming your emotional boundaries protects your peace without needing to defend your ego. The present is a place of peace. Most stress comes from regrets about the past or anxiety about the future, but the present moment holds stillness and strength. Being here fully is the doorway to unshakable inner peace. Your value is not up for debate. You don't have to earn your worth or prove it to anyone. You are enough, regardless of what others think or say. Self-worth becomes unbreakable when it comes from within, not approval. Joy is your natural state beneath the noise. True joy isn't found in external success or possessions. It's already inside you. You reconnect with it by shedding negativity, not accumulating more. Stillness, presence, and gratitude return you to that light. You were never meant to live at the mercy of the world, not of people's opinions, not of circumstances, and certainly not of your past. Deep within you exists an unshakable core, a center of stillness where peace, clarity, and power reside. The only thing keeping you from it is noise, fear, doubt, expectation, and avoidance. But when you begin to see that nothing and nobody can truly hurt you unless you give them permission, everything changes. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop escaping and start embodying. You become the master of your mind, not its slave. The world no longer pulls your strings because you've cut them. Zen teaches us this. The obstacle is not the enemy. The obstacle is the way. Let pain guide you. Let suffering teach you. Let solitude awaken you. These 12 principles are not just ideas. They are living practices that can shift your entire existence if you walk with them daily. You have the power to choose peace over panic, purpose over distraction, and clarity over chaos. This life is not about controlling everything. It's about mastering yourself. And when you do that, no one can ever truly shake you again. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop being hurt and start living fully, freely, and fearlessly? Like and share this video if it spoke to your heart. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Which principle hit you the hardest? Subscribe to Deep Wisdom for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful, powerful life.